What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're checking out the Electro-Harmonix The Worm. You know, my buddy Fatty Patty covered the slightly bigger vintage version of this pedal a couple days ago. I saw that video and as the jealous little kid that I am, I knew I needed to get one of those for myself. This is the slightly newer 2008-9-ish version of it, but it's supposed to be the same pedal in a small enclosure, so let's check it out. So real quick before, I hate this sentence, every YouTuber does, but it's kind of necessary. So before we check out this pedal, let me just show you real quick what's going on the pedal board, what gear am I using, yada yada yada. Let's go. Alright, that's today's setup. From the guitar we go straight into the Wampler Ego Compressor. Mr. Wampler definitely knows how to build a compressor, I tell you that. It's always on. Then we go to the Dunlop Crybaby, the standard version. Very simple, very effective. Then next up we have the Super Overdrive by Boss for those slightly overdriven sounds, such as in the intro of this video here. And then next up we got this big boy, the Big Muff by Electro-Harmonix, into the Worm. And then finally from the Worm we go into the M9 Stompbox modeler by line 6, you know, for delay and stuff like that. But also it has a Big Muff pipe preset. So basically we can check out how this pedal sounds post and pre-distortion with the same sound, which is pretty cool. And then finally from the M9 we go into the Orange Supercrush 100 amplifier, and that's it. And then finally in front of the amplifier there's this lovely little microphone here that is plugged straight into my phone. So you get the unprocessed audio. What you hear is kind of exactly what I'm hearing in this room here. And that's it. Alright, in good old Electro-Harmonix fashion, this is a fully analog multi-effects pedal, if you will. It offers 4 different effects such as wah, phaser, tremolo and vibrato. We have 3 controls here. This one lets you choose an effect. Then we have the range and a rate control for the speed of the effect, plus a little toggle switch here that lets us switch between auto and manual, which is interesting for an expression pedal, which I have here and I will use it in a minute. Let me talk about the rate control here for a second. This is very sensitive, and by that I mean everything past the 9 o'clock position here is pretty much unusable. It's very, very fast. Check it out. See what I mean? I don't know what Electro-Harmonix were thinking when they designed this, but who knows. Another bummer is that this requires a 24 volts power supply, so you can forget about your 9 volt power supplies. No, only 24. Luckily the power supply came with the pedal. It also came with the original box and everything, pretty cool. But yeah, you have to keep that in mind if you want to buy one of these. 24 volts. But other than the rate thing or the 24 volts thing, this is a very cool pedal. I really like the phaser here. Few people don't like it that much, I do. And also the wah effect is pretty convincing to me. You know, if you have it post distortion, well, it doesn't sound that great, but pre-distortion, like you would normally do with the wah pedal, it's convincing enough to me. And that was just the pedal on its own in the auto mode. Now let's take this expression pedal here and actually compare it to a real wah pedal. Now let's get to the phaser. I really like it with a super clean compressed signal, and then you get the funky stuff with the phaser, but also with distortion. Very, very nice. Mind-blowing phaser. Now I don't know what's up with the tremolo, but it sounds like it auditioned to be the vibrato but didn't make it, and now it's pissed and tried to sound like a vibrato, but it's something between vibrato and tremolo. I don't know. You can get some tremolo sounds of it, but I don't know. It's okay, I guess. Now, another cool thing with this pedal is if you don't have an expression pedal, but you still use the manual mode, you can choose the phaser and then you can freeze the phaser at a certain position. So normally the phaser goes, but now you freeze it and it's constantly like, which is very cool if you're doing some lead stuff. So there you have it, the Electro-Harmonix The Worm. Very cool pedal. Thing is, I'm running out of space for this stuff, so where do I put it? Anyways, this is not your problem, but mine. It's a cool problem, a problem that I can easily live with. Very nice pedal, very nice that you watched this video. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. Take care.